Shalom, welcome to this week's Dvar Torah. This week's Sedra is Sedra Noach. A recent report stated that harassment happens all the time on Facebook. From sexual harassment to assault threats, there has been a significant increase in the number of harassment cases that happens on Facebook. It's not uncommon for sex offenders and sexual predators to prey on unsuspecting people on Facebook. Harassment, especially sexual harassment, is a horrible societal ill. In this Dvar Torah, I'll examine this horrific tendency. I'll demonstrate how sexual harassment goes far beyond uncontrolled desire. Through an episode in this week's Sedra, I'll show that the true nature of sexual harassment is a lot more dastardly than mere urges, and how sexual abuse, even of the verbal kind, can destroy the life of a victim. I am hopeful that none of my readers would ever contemplate committing such abuse, but in examining this issue, I hope to raise awareness of this contemporary problem. In our Sedra, we find one of the most disturbing episodes in the Torah. After surviving the flood, Noach and his sons exit the ark to create a new life. Hashem recounts, Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father, meaning Noach's, nakedness, and he told his two brothers. Shem and Yafet took a garment, and they placed it on both of their shoulders, and they walked backwards, and they covered their father's nakedness, and their faces were turned backwards so they did not see their father's nakedness. Noach awoke from his wine, from his stupor, and he knew what his small son had done to him. And he said, "Cursed be Canaan, he shall be a slave among slaves to his brethren." Rashi explains that when Hashem stated that Ham saw his father's nakedness, there are some who think that Ham actually castrated his father, and some say he sodomized him. To take such violent action against anyone leads to question humanity's capability of morality. But the fact that Ham did this to his father leaves us dumbfounded. What could have ever brought Ham to commit such heinous evil? Sexual abuse, whether in the form of rape, harassment, or violence, is more than an expression of desire. It is a form of exercising control. When one person can victimize another person, they are exerting control over them. When a person distorts an act of love by perverting it to an act of abuse, they've caused trauma past the mere act. They've created long-lasting pain, for they've created an association between healthy expression of emotion and unhealthy pain. Exerting control is what the sexual harasser and abuser is aiming to accomplish. Ham must have felt completely subjugated by his father. Not having led the moral life his father had, Ham was only brought onto the ark due to his father's actions. Noach was his lifeline, and Ham resented that connection. To strike back at his father and regain a mode of control, Ham acts violently, in a manner that expresses absolute and total control. While today's acts of abuse might not share the level of evil that Ham's did, it does share the same motivation. Shabbat Shalom.